This is a rattling call to pay attention to this issue and make sure that our nation's top scientists are safe and secure. This is too coincidental, and so we have to be investigating this. We need to have our nation's top investigators, the FBI, and every agency looking into this matter.
Welcome back. That was House Oversight Committee member and Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson this week calling a string of 11 missing and dead scientists too coincidental and a matter of urgent national importance. He is calling for an investigation as the FBI works with the White House and other intelligence agencies to probe whether the fate of these scientists is linked to their access to classified information about aerospace, defense, and even UFOs, and may involve bad actors from a foreign adversary such as China, Russia, or Iran. Joining me now is the director of the FBI, Kash Patel. Director, thanks so much for joining us this morning. I want to kick it off with this story. What can you tell us about these 11 missing or dead scientists?
It's great to be with you, Maria. And look, per our conversations with the White House and the President, the FBI is going to be spearheading the effort collectively with our partners at the Department of Energy and the Department of War. These missing and killed scientists and former professional members of the Department of Energy vary in wide range. And we're working most importantly with our state and local partners who have the jurisdiction on each of these cases, whether they be a homicide or a missing persons case. They have the evidence. So what we're going to do is collectively pull it all into one place. We started this process last week, and then we're going to look for connections, like you said, on whether there are connections to classified access to classified information and/or foreign actors, and then we will produce that information to the White House and the world because it's of such great public importance. And if there's any connections that lead to nefarious conduct or conspiracy, this FBI will make the appropriate arrest.
I mean, you've been working on an investigation of China for many years. I remember years ago you were looking at China's bad behavior and how it constantly undermines the United States. Do you have any evidence so far that this is also linked to a foreign adversary like China?
You know, as of right now, there's not much we can say, but we don't have hard information directly linking any of this to overseas adversaries.
Okay, but you also recently told us that there was a major cyber attack. I mentioned it to the president just there. China did a cyber attack on the U.S. How significant is the undermining of America by China right now?
Well, look, just look at our intelligence community's assessment that came out last year, at the end of last year, which specifically stated that the most persistent and active cyber threat we face in the world is from China. That's the entirety of the 17 organizations stood up to protect this nation, made that determination. So the FBI packages its program in response around that. And what China does is three things. They use the People's Liberation Army, the PLA, the MSS, the Ministry of State Security, their spy service, and their private sector to engage in a basically triad of cyber offensive warfare and attacks. And what did the FBI do in response? Last year alone, we focused specifically on actors such as Salt Typhoon and Vault Typhoon. What do? They go out there and they do large-scale espionage collection, and in the second half of it, what they do is they stand up enterprises within our critical infrastructure nodes, water, energy, communications, to do disruptions at a time of inconvenience for the United States of America. This FBI last year arrested over 200 cyber actors, and this year we're already up to 60. What we're doing most importantly than just the arrest, though, is the complete dismantlement of these enterprises, and we've already had over 50 complete dismantlements focused specifically on actors from China and elsewhere because they are the most active and persistent threat, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And we launched Operation Winter Shield, which was our 60-day campaign with direct engagement with the private sector, because what the Chinese do is they go into not just government systems, but private sector systems. And just ask the 5 biggest banks what the FBI did for them over a weekend last year, expelled an entire hacker parade on their networks that could have crippled our financial institution. We did that in one weekend. And so our ask to the private sector after our 600-plus engagements in 60 days is let us in early, call us often. We will show up with our cyber action team, our CAT team, expel these bad actors, and dismantle the networks. And then, yes, of course, we'll make more arrests and use the sanctions programs with our Treasury partners to make sure we don't do business with these folks. I identified just 3 in the last couple of months in China that private sector companies that partner with the MSS and PLA. And so that's an extensive operation, but we need our private sector partners' engagements, and that's what Operation Winter Shield was for. It actually had over 2 million impressions in the 60 days we launched it, and the private sector communities have been reaching out in large scale because they saw what we did with the banks, and they saw what we did with places like Stryker and elsewhere.
All right, I want to move on, but real quick, I just spoke with the president about this letter that Xi Jinping wrote back to President Trump, and he said he wasn't supplying weapons to Iran. There are reports all over the place that they were, in fact. Should we be alarmed also by the extent to which China has penetrated our academic institutions? They're coming at us at every angle.
You know, they are, and look at what we did. I can just speak to what the FBI did. We, the FBI last year, specifically arrested multiple individuals at the University of Michigan for bringing in illegal pathogens and try to steal our seed agricultural information. We've also conducted arrests in the Midwest on these Chinese who are implementing these adversarial actions against our academic institutions. It's a whole of government approach with the private sector.
Okay, let me move on because there is this scathing article about you in the Atlantic magazine. The Atlantic magazine director is alleging that you have a drinking problem, that it is getting in the way of your work running the FBI. What is your response this morning to this article?
Look, Maria, you and I have been at this together for a long time, whether I was leading the investigation on Russiagate back in the House or my time in the Trump admin 1 and now. And the results, I say, speak for themselves. If the fake news mafia isn't hitting you personally with baseless information in Washington, D.C., then you're not doing your job. And it's louder than ever because this FBI, under President Trump's brilliant leadership and backing the blue and backing law enforcement, this FBI has the most prolific year in crime reduction in the United States history. A 20% reduction in the homicide rate, a 20-point drop in opiate overdose deaths. We have found and identified 6,300 child victims. 6,300 kids get to go home to their kids. That's a 30% increase. Seizing enough fentanyl to kill 180 million Americans. That's a 31% increase. Our deal with China, where we stopped the flow of fentanyl precursors, a historic engagement thanks to President Trump in Busan. And our work continues. We've captured 8 of the top 10 most wanted fugitives in the world, to include rapists, murderers, terrorists, and narco traffickers. That's twice as many as Joe Biden did in 4 years. President Trump and this FBI got done in 14 months. So if I'm not doing my job, if I'm not working, then how is it that the FBI delivered the safest America under President Trump's leadership in the history of our country? And so, you know what? They can beat their drums and stand next to toxic waste all they want, but that doesn't make it toxic waste. And Maria, I'm happy to announce on your show that we are not going to take this laying down. You want to attack my character? Come at me. Bring it on. I'll see you in court.
So you're going to sue them?
Absolutely. It's coming tomorrow.
Tomorrow you will be dropping a lawsuit against the Atlantic magazine.
Yes, I will, for defamation. And because you know what, Maria? We have to fight back against the fake news. It's one of the many things that President Trump is so successful at in leading out on, because no one is attacked as baselessly as he is and as much as he is. And our leaders that get attacked under his brilliant leadership must do the same. And I won't tolerate their attacks on me, because they are indirect attacks on the men and women of the FBI that we've cleaned up. And this historic, prolific year of crime reduction across the board is something that all Americans should be. And I know they're proud of it because I travel across the country and they say our communities are safer than ever before. Our kids aren't dying of drug overdoses. You're stopping terrorist attacks. Maria, in December, in a 4-week span, this FBI stopped 4 terrorist attacks planned over the holiday season. 4. That's more than Joe Biden did in his 4 years. So we're going to get after the fight. And if the fake news mafia wants to, ring their drumbeat as loud as they can, they're never going to stop me from completing the mission that President Trump asked me to do, which is safeguarding America. And we're doing it better than ever before.
Well, let me ask you about the mission, because every time I see President Trump, he says this repeatedly, that the election was rigged in 2020. I mean, he says it all the time. We all know that. And it's almost getting lost because he says it so much. You've been at the FBI now 14 months. Have you done anything about that? And do you have anything to tell us about that?
Absolutely, Maria. Look, I've been with the president nearly since day one on this. As I told you earlier, I was the one that led the effort with folks like Trey Gowdy, Johnny Ratcliffe, and Devin Nunes to expose the corruption that tried to thwart President Trump's first presidential election run. and we saw the FISA abuses there. And I lived through it, and the media came at me then, too. That just shows you that when you're over the target, you keep pummeling the target because the media is going to try and pummel you. We are not going to take this and have not taken this laying down. We did already indict former Director Comey, and that's going through the judicial process. But we also, at this FBI, even though we uncovered what we uncovered back in the House Intel days, I had to come in here and find rooms that they hid from the world. I had to come in here and find access on our computer systems in restricted and prohibited case files that they purposely put in places for no one to see and find. We have found all this information. We are working with our Department of Justice partners, and I am never going to let this go because they not only have personally attacked the presidency of the United States and President Trump, but they tried to thwart our elections and rig the entire system. And that is not something that is going to stop. That is not something I'm going to allow on my watch. But you just have to remember, they built this disease temple over 20 and 30 years. We've got all the evidence. I can announce on your show that we've got all the information we need. We're working with our prosecutors at the Department of Justice and their Attorney General Todd Blanche, and we are going to be making arrests. And it's coming, and I promise you, it's coming soon.
Well, Kash, hold on, because when you started this interview, you said, Maria, you and I have been working together for a long time, and this is exactly what you were referring to. You were on my show repeatedly talking about the Russia collusion story, and our audience wants to know why there's never any accountability. But specifically, the question that I asked you was about election integrity and whether or not you have any information to verify what President Trump says all the time, which is the election was rigged. That's what I asked you, Kash.
I'm sorry, Maria, I misheard. Yes, so what we are doing is folding that into our entire conspiracy case, and we will let the prosecution speak for him. But we have the information that backs President Trump's claim. But because it's an ongoing prosecution investigation, I can't get ahead of the DOJ and the president. But President Trump speaks truthfully when he says that, and that's what I've been telling you about. When we find terabytes of data on computers from the last 10 years that we were supposed to find 10 years ago, that's what it took. It took his re-election. It took this FBI to go in there and find it. And it takes a long time to get through that material. But I would say stay tuned this week. You might see a thing or two.
Kash Patel, good to talk with you. We will be watching you tomorrow's news when you drop that lawsuit. And we so appreciate you joining me this morning. Thank you, sir.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.